Welcome to the Jaden Show, you beautiful people. How are you? I hope this show finds you well and you are happy and everything is going wonderful in your life. I'm going to add to that wonderfulness because I'm going to introduce you to singer, songwriter, musician, actor, barber and activist, the amazing Andre Timothy. You're going to meet him in a minute. But you know what? Let's just check out a little bit of his music. This is called Power of Fear.
Never stop, like a truck with no brakes. Bottomless pit. You won't satisfy your bottomless pit. You never stop, like a truck with no brakes. Bottomless pit. You won't satisfy your bottomless pit. This power of fear, this power of fear, this war of fear needs to end. Friends with the neighbor once again. This war of fear needs to end.
Now I know you are desperate to meet that guy, as desperate as I am to introduce you to him, but you're going to have to be patient, I'm afraid, because we're going just to a really quick Jaden Show commercial break. Okay, it's the time you have been waiting for, as have I. I'm going to introduce you now to an incredible artist, singer, songwriter, author, musician, activist, barber, the amazing Andre Timothy. Welcome him to the Jaden Show. Oh my God, the amazing Andre Timothy. Welcome to the Jaden Show. How are you, lovely man?
I'm doing great.
It's super lovely to see you from the sunny US of A, I believe.
Say that again?
So it's lovely to see you, and you're in the sunny United States of America, right?
Yep.
Pero tú eres mexicano, ¿verdad?
Sí, totalmente mexicano.
So what part of Mexico? So I'm living in your country now. So what part of Mexico are you from?
I'm from Rosarito, which is in Baja Norte.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just very close to the border.
Do you miss it, or do you get enough visits?
Well, I still go like once a month, I would say. So I do miss it, but at the same time, I'm like. It's more like about like the friends, and I kind of like miss. It's just more a little like nostalgic, I would say. Like thinking about like high school, growing up, and all of that stuff. Is like it's just like you think about it, and it's just like, oh, I wish I can go back. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of like don't want to lose what I have now because it's just like it's been taking a lot of effort to put the feet on the ground,
Absolutely. And how is the United States of America treating you?
Pretty good. I can't really complain. Well, the thing is, like, I'm in California, so it's like the weather is just so good. The people, it's very diverse and very what's the word? Like charming, like everybody's just like very like like just I don't know. Everyone just seems to be very cool and having
it's comfortable,
a good time.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
And you can get good Mexican food there
as well, because there's a bunch of Mexicans here as well. So.
Muy bien, it's perfect. It's like home from home.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I'm not here to talk about tacos in California. I'm here to talk about you creatively, Mr. Timothy. So I want to take you back when you were kind of like really, really tiny, running around your family home in Mexico. What was going on around you musically, creatively? What was happening in your family?
Well, when I was growing up, I remember I was in middle school and I wanted to start singing, and I wanted to take some classes and stuff. So I think at first I joined the chorus of my school. That was like the very, very beginning when I started singing. I wasn't very good. I hope I'll knock on wood. There's no videos of me back in the days. Well, I'm still like.
If there are, you better be sending those videos, because if there are, I want to see them.
Yeah, totally. No, I would definitely like to see them as well. I don't know if I have any, but so yeah, that was the very beginning, and then I started high school and I started singing a little bit more, and just like I don't know, whenever there was like like an event at school or whatever, I'll try to sing, and just like I don't know, just try to perform up there. But I don't know, it was just like I was like very like I would say like I was very brave, but at the same time I was like once I was like up there, I was like very nervous.
Right.
So just like
it's normally the opposite, right?
Yep.
Normally people are like really, really shitting themselves before, and then when they get on stage, they are in their zone.
Yeah.
But you were the opposite.
Yeah.
But that's great.
That was the opposite. I was like very brave to like go in, but then once I was there, like it seemed like I lost my voice, and it was just I don't know. Probably had some like funny presentations as well. Later on, I started like taking as well like dancing classes. I started dancing and doing this, doing that, going for like competitions, and
Wow. What kind of dancing?
It was very like very diverse. We were doing like folklore, like
Okay,
from like
amazing. Oh,
Mexico.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, folklore, and then we're also doing like hip hop. We're also doing, so it was like one week it was like we were like reviewing or like doing the rehearsal for wherever the event was going to be. So we just like dance
Amazing. Cool.
whatever.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was a Zumba instructor.
Oh really?
Yeah. In fact, I'm starting next week to teach in San
That's
Chris. Yeah.
that's very fun.
No, mate. Boy has to get rid of his panza.
Yeah, yeah.
And while I'm at home, I don't have that commitment. I see food and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm bored. I'm going to eat. Whereas if I'm teaching Zumba, I have to do Zumba. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So, no, I
yeah.
love dancing as well. I was in a choir, but I was so bad that they threw me out of the choir at school.
But what happened? You were in
I
a.
was in a like coro, like choir at school,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but I was so
Hmm.
bad they put me at the back, and I was really. I looked like Harry Potter. Like I had these glasses, and I was really tiny.
Glasses.
My hair was kind of like here, and no scar, but I still look really geek.
Yeah.
And but they threw me out because my voice was so bad. So I'm
Oh man.
100% sure there are worse videos of me when I was younger than there are of you, because I have no talent. I don't know how I've been a singer for 34 years now. I have no fucking idea how, because I was really awful.
Well, it happens as well that like when you're first starting at a very young age, like I don't know, like it's not there, but then within like the time and years, it starts kind of like develop,
Yeah, completely.
develop
It's like the spark, right?
the
You know
ability.
there's something you have to do, but then like anything, you have to become good at it. You have to work on it and spend time on it and invest in it. And yes, absolutely. And now look at you. Now you are an author, guitarist, actor, songwriter, singer. I mean, you're doing your things. That's a long way from the coro in your school,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm still doing it for like for myself at home. Like I haven't been out there trying to even like jump in the trolley or at the train and trying
yeah,
to sing out there, but haven't tried anything out there yet. But I'm like at least at home or like for my Instagram friends.
which is just as good. I mean, it's still like you're still building up an online profile, right?
Yeah,
So
little by little.
what music was going on around you? Like, were you like drenched in Jose and Vicente Fernandez, or was you kind of like was you like doing your thing to Britney Spears? I mean, what was happening to you musically at the time?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm very like I don't have a preference for just like one type of music.
Mm.
Um, I think I like everything. It depends on the mood,
Yeah,
or like, if I'm feeling Mexican, then I want to hear banda and I want to hear this and that. If I'm feeling a little American, then I want to like, I don't know, listen to rock and listen to or rock and roll from
okay,
like back in the days, like Elvis Presley, and that also like reminds me of like my grandparents as well because they like to like dance and they like kind of that kind of music. Or if I'm feeling a little gay, then I'll be listening to like Vogue or Madonna or Britney Spears, and I'll be gay. It's like time to be gay. Enjoy. So yeah, it pretty much depends on the mood that I'm
but that's
at.
great. That's a great
But
foundation. Like, it's something of everything, right?
yes,
What,
yes, yes, yes. And I
what,
try to listen to different things. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
no, if you wanted, like, as an artist, if you wanted to kind of set yourself, I don't know, I don't like to pigeonhole people, but if you wanted to set yourself a style, what style would you be wanting to create for yourself, or are you creating for yourself?
I think it will be like kind of like in between, like rock, but at the same time like pop or romantic songs.
Okay,
Um,
So tú eres mi
Or
competencia, entonces.
yeah, maybe. Sí. Or it could be like EDM as well, because I also like to make songs with my computer. I haven't uploaded anything, but I also like been messing around with the thing. Um, so yeah, in between those lines, like I don't think I will be doing like I don't know, like corridos or like like
Mariachi.
what's the other one? Yeah, mariachi or like country.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like I'm in that field.
So kind of rock
Yeah,
pop kind of artist.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I was pop, pure pop, and it's quite now I can like it's quite interesting now. I've kind of taken off like the shackles of music. So
Hmm.
I sing for 3 hours. That's like 60 songs in one like day, and I was singing like Jose, Poquito Mariachi, Dua Lipa,
Yeah.
ABBA, Tina Turner, Brittany,
Yep.
like a
Yep.
bit of everything. And I love it because
Yeah.
I'm doing it for me. So I'm like, oh, and if I'm in a really shit mood, then I have to bust out Spice Girls, man.
You
So
have to what?
I have to bust out. Tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell
Oh
me
yeah.
what. That is my. That's like when things are like I can feel things doing this. I have to do Spice Girls.
Yep.
That's the only thing that keeps me.
Yeah.
So it's great that you like so much of variety. I think that's really important in an artist as well, not just to be creative, but to be flexible, because creativity is you can't hold creativity in a bubble. It has to
Yeah, I know. I
grow
have
how it
to.
grows. So
Yep.
now, when you were younger as well, you told me before we start the interview that you went to acting school in Mexico City. So tell me a little bit about that.
So yeah, I was 18 and I was in high school, and at first I wanted to be a commercial pilot, but then my parents were kind of like not very agreeing with the idea. So, and then I was like, okay, well, because I was just thinking about the money, I
Yeah.
was trying to make a good living. So that's what I was, thinking. But then I was like, okay, if they're not going to support this, then what about going for like acting school, in Mexico City, very far away from where I'm from. So I was like, I'm just going to tell them. And it was crazy that they agreed for that,
But
to
not the
send me to
pilot.
Mexico City, but not a more stable career, in terms of
Did
like
they say why? Maybe they were just scared of you flying an airplane.
maybe, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, like are you gonna make a good living out of like
Absolutely right.
acting, or are
Yeah.
you just gonna like? So I went to Mexico City and I started in this school. I'm not gonna mention the name, but I think I was just there for a semester, and I don't know, I just started feeling like everything was being very repetitive, like over and over, which is part of
The
the
process.
career, yeah, the process. But I was just, I was very young and I wasn't like very with my feet in the ground, and I was like, well, no, it's like taking too much time. Like I want to like keep learning. I don't want to keep repeating over and over whatever we're seeing here. So I step out and then I start taking um, what do you call it? Uh, like workshops of like I don't know 6 months of um acting in like for movies kind of type,
Okay.
so that you learn about the marks and you learn about this, you learn about that. And then we're like, I don't know, now we're gonna like take this other class for like 3 4 months that it was for constructing characters. So then I'll, just like take all those classes and stuff. And then when I was already feeling kind of ready after almost 2 years, I was like, okay, well, it's time to start working.
Mhm.
And yeah, I met like a friend that it was a he's still director in Mexico City. He just made another movie which is called La Divina Tragedia. He's a very good director. I like him. Is Sergio Tovar. So we met and we start talking about like working together and this and that. But then COVID showed up,
Right.
and I was like, how am I gonna be able to pay my bills? And because at that time, I was also my parents were like, okay, that's it. Now you're by your own. Um, so I was like, what am I gonna do? So I kind of like sell almost all my stuff there in Mexico City, like my TV, my bike, everything, just to move back to Rosarito,
Hmm.
and start working as a barber again, because that was my high school job. I
Okay.
started cutting hair when I was 15. So that was always kind of like my background. I was like, if something goes wrong, I'll go back to
But
cut
yeah,
hair.
perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I went back to Rosarito, start cutting hair, and then I start crossing the border to look for like a job. So I was crossing the border, but it was so hard because no one was hiring. It was just like everything was shut down, or they were like open things for a little bit, but then if another like just
It's scared
people
them
start
out.
getting yeah, I don't know, just like I don't know, people are getting more just like getting the COVID again, so now everything's gonna shut down again. So
Yeah.
it's just like the back and forth of that. But then I finally just like found a job and then another job and then I started cutting hair. But then I had to go back to barber college here in California because they require you to have a license. So I was like, spending time and money to like get my license. So yeah, in short terms, I started working as a barber, and then I was working for someone else, and then that person fired me because she wanted me to stay for like a very long period of time, and I was like, well, I don't know what my plans in 10 years are gonna be.
Yeah.
I can't really
Yeah. No,
promise that I'm gonna be
exactly.
staying here for 10 years. So she fired me, and then I finally got my license, and then I worked for another barber shop for about a year. I built up my clientele, and then I started doing my own thing. I opened my little barber shop.
Sweet.
Uh, which yeah, that's pretty much what I'm still doing
And that's still
right now.
creativity, right? It's still art.
Yeah. And at the same time, it was just like life was just like pushing me to take decisions because it was just after like that this like lady fired me. It was like okay, I have to like do
Do
this by
something.
myself
Yeah,
because yeah.
completely. And the good thing is, you're building up clients for peluqueria, but these are also future clients that you can tell about your music and your books and your future
Yeah,
films and
yeah,
everything that you do, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah. Sometimes like you
perfect.
mentioned a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, I haven't been promoting that part for like or taking it serious for now because I feel like I'm just in a state of like
Becoming.
my yeah, like learning or understanding what I really want or what I pursuing for.
Mhm.
Uh,
So because
yeah,
you've got coming up, you've written a book
yeah.
as well. So I mean, we seem to cross over quite. I do estetica canina. So that's my job. So I do dog grooming, so haircuts for dogs, a
Yeah.
couple of
Oh,
times a
that's
week.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so I do that, which is kind of helps me out a bit. I obviously sing. I don't play guitar as good as you. I don't play guitar at all, and I've written. So I've got 6 books published as well. So tell me a bit about you being
Oh,
a fellow
wow.
author. Tell me all
Well,
about that.
I don't know. It was something that it started in elementary school. It
Okay.
was just was random day that I was in class, and then the professor was like, "Okay, kids, we're all gonna write a story on a piece of paper, and or a fairy tale or whatever.
Yeah.
So just get creative and write whatever you want." I was in fifth grade. So I started writing, and I wrote this story, and then I think I was kind of like the first one who was like done with it. So I went to like with my teacher, and I was like, "Here, I'm done." And I don't remember what happened. Oh yeah, he just grabbed the paper, and then I went back to my seat, and he started reading it, and I was like, and he was like, "Where did you get this story from? Was this from a movie?" And I was like, "No, I just made it up right now." I don't know. It was like he didn't believe me. He was like I was very like I was like, "No, I made it up right now." I think it was just the story about like actually, it was the story that I wrote. It was about this. I forgot what it's called in English. Pianist, like the person.
Pianist, yeah.
Yeah. Who like perform and connect with like with the people, and then they start making people just like just I don't know, just magically work on them, and they will just like fly around the I forgot what it's called, but this is the scenario, and then in front of it, what's the part of the area where all the people.
The auditorium, I guess, no?
Yeah.
Or the audience.
So yeah, that was pretty much like the story, and I put the title on it. It was the pianist. So yeah, and then after that, they make like a little like a competition in the school of like writing stories, and I won. And and I wasn't really thinking about any of this stuff or taking it seriously. I was very young. And then again, I was in high school, and there was another kind of like competition, but this was just like in my classroom for to gain some points for like the class, some extra points, by writing a continuation of a story that we were all already reading. I think it was like Pedro Paramo or something. It was like one of these books from Juan Rulfo. So yeah, I wrote the continuation, and then I won the points. But again, I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, I'm a writer. I'm gonna be a writer. I'm gonna be an author. I was just like doing it for the points, or just whatever. Yeah, and then later on, I realized when I was like close to my 19, yeah, around that age, 20, I was like, no, I think what I'm actually looking for is to be more like a writer or a songwriter. So that's when it started. And after I got fired from this barbershop here in California, I decided to write a book about barbering, like a self-help book for like other barbers out there. And also it was going to be like practice for me to put my writing in practice and do just like do this and that, how to learn how to publish, how to do this, how to do that. And then I published that one, but then I started working on this one that I mentioned to you before, which is more meant for our LGBT community out there. And well, the main purpose of this one is to help people out there who are just struggling to come out, or because we think about it and we're like, I don't know, I'm in California, or I've been in places where it's very diverse, but you think about like the world in general, and a lot of places it's just not like that,
Even where I live in Mexico, I live in Los Comunidades, like close to San Cristobal de las Casas, but they don't even speak Spanish here. They speak Tzotzil.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's very kind of a very old-fashioned. It reminds me of kind of like England 1970s. So even here, I can't tell people I'm gay, because it's agricultural community. It's very religious. It's very machoista. So the women don't even look up. They're all dressed in traditional wear. The men are always drinking in the fields, but the women are just children producing and keeping home. You know, sometimes there's some women working actually, which kind of is amazing. But and even here, like I have a couple of people that help me, you know, in my garden and stuff like that. And the most I can, they say, "Oh, tú no tienes novia o esposa." I'm like, "No, amigo, no tengo nada, no quiero." ¿Por qué? Tú es guapo, amigo. ¿Por qué tú no quieres? Because I don't want a girlfriend. But you need help. Tú necesitas ayuda con tu ropa y con cocinando. I'm like, no, estoy muy independiente. I can do everything. Like, that's not a problem. I can mend socks. I can cook. Okay. I can clean house and I can build a wall. Like, I can pretty much. I'm okay. Amigo, pero tú necesitas una mujer, ¿verdad? I'm like, no. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I just had really bad experiences. I'm really sorry. But there are a couple of guys I like, I don't like women. ¿Qué? Like, no me gustan, you know, las mujeres. ¿Por qué no? Porque no tengo suficiente dinero, amigo. No quiero. Gracias. But I've kind of told like 2 guys that I'm bisexual. I'm not. I'm 100% gay. And I've kind of told 2 guys that I'm bisexual just to kind of filter it in, because I really do feel that with the leaders of the communities, right? I'm the only white boy in like 8 kilometers. Like, it's just me here. And I live on my own, like with my animals, and I have no neighbors for like 20 minutes. And I honestly believe like they come across as the type of people, even though they are lovely and they smile and they wave every morning, like they're really cool. Hey, meco, güero, ¿cómo estás? But I really believe that if one year the crops failed, they would blame the fucking gay boy. I would be taken and probably burnt in the El Domo, you know, like, it's pretty, you know, but so I think I do a show actually, maybe you can be part of this show as well. It's called Coming Out. So it's people's stories about the coming out process, which is not just a one-time event. Even I came out when I was 20, 21, I'm 53 now, and I still feel that sometimes I'm still coming out. You know, it's not just a one-time event. So maybe you can come on this show as well, because I think it's important for people not to pick up the TikTok experience of being gay or being part of that community, that it's not just, oh my God, I'm going to mime to Brittany and now I'm gay and everyone knows it and accepts me. No, there's still people that are going to kick your fucking head in for being gay. And there are still people that will not accept your choices and your lifestyle. And, you know, it's a process of being the best example of the best human you can be before you are the best example of the best gay, the best trans, the best lesbian, whatever. You know, so I think it's, the book sounds amazing what you're doing to have those, you know, that kind of real life.
Yeah. And just to add a little bit, I grew up in a very religious, you know, family. They're the type of ones that they just like kind of like force the beliefs, you know, that like, no, you have to do this and you have to go to the church and you have to. It was a Mormon church actually.
Okay.
That's how I grew up, and you know, since I remember, I was going to a church and stuff. The good thing is that my parents they split up later on, and my dad didn't really continue with the church or anything. So I was a little more able to be, you know, more free with my dad than I was with my mom's side. But the on my mom's side, my entire family, they're from like Sinaloa, which is also like a very conservative like place in Mexico. And at the same time, they're religious. They're very nice people. I love everyone. But the fact that I'm openly gay and I'm like, and I'm also like, I'm all the things that they can consider me like the devil, because I'm gay, I'm vegan, I'm like, you know, just, it's just
you
like,
play guitar with heathen songs. Yeah, no, respect, dudes.
So, you know, it's just all those things. They kind of like have. Some of them, because some of my cousins, we still have a very good relationship, but I do feel, when I go there, I do feel kind of this weird energy from some of them, or like, or they will also say like, I'm not even, saying anything. We're just talking about, like, I don't know, just whatever, the food or the environment or whatever. And someone just like come to me, and I'm like, I respect you and I accept you. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, is this something that you have to like bring up?
But thank you for accepting me. That's big. Thank you.
Yeah, but I can see how like they struggle with, because the thing is, like, with people have this thought in their minds that if you are gay or something that is just mentioned in the religion that is something wrong, it's just a conflict of thoughts, that because they know you and they know you're a good person, and you know you're who you are, but at the same time they can't really match their beliefs that is he real, like, a good person, because it
He's
says
just
that
deceived.
people,
He's just deceived by
yeah,
Satan. I had this.
yeah.
I was a very shy, very ugly child, and had no friends, and was beat. Have you seen Heartstopper on Netflix?
I probably.
It's like
It's about this young
the two English, like the guy who's gay and is being beaten up and all this, and falls in love with the rugby player and all this kind
yeah,
of.
I think kind of like I seen the trailer. I know
It's
which one
really
you're.
lovely. It's a really lovely series, and that was kind of part of my life. Like, I was always the geek that wanted to sing, that wanted to, be dramatic, and I went to an all boys school, so the kids that wanted to, wanted sex in break time would also be the ones that would beat the shit out of me in class as well. So it was a very kind of like weird experience. And I grew up, and I got my confidence when I joined church, and it was a Pentecostal assembly, and I was kind of like in my mid to late teens. So I was now becoming prettier and nicer looking and more talented and more confident. And so all my friends were Christian. And when I decided, because I was falling in love with guys, like the guy that played basketball and the guy that played the piano, I just wanted to be in love with. And obviously I'm obviously demon possessed as far as my church is concerned. So they would sit me in rooms watching exorcism videos because I had the demon of homosexuality. And it was a really, so when I came out, I lost everything and everyone. I had no friends because my only friends I had were from church, and I was singing all over the country. I was going to Canada and I was singing gospel in Canada. So when I decided that I need to be honest, I can't not. I remember masturbating once, and the guilt that followed that was off the scale. I had to go to my pastor and say, look, I've done this, and I was suicidal because it was impurity of thought and deed, and it was such a abusive brainwashing experience. And I kind of left church and left everything. It was, so I kind of get that oppression, and that not now I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm not, it's really interesting. Like, I wouldn't even say, and this is, I don't want to offend anyone because I'm not meant to offend anybody. Like, I don't like being part of a community, because I think when we're part of a community, it still separates us from being part of who we are as a human race. I think we should all be accepted for our colours, our differences, our choices, our talents, our ages, our disabilities, our diffabilities. I think, I remember going on this date once, and this guy was like, oh, you're handsome. And oh, thank you. That's really kind. He goes, yeah, but you don't look your age. I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, so you should be, because I had a hairy chest. He goes, so you should be a bear because of your age, but because of your look, you'd be a cub. But, you're quite skinny, so you'd actually be an otter. And I'm like, what? He goes, but because of your age, you'd be a daddy, not a son. But, because you're quite a pretty boy, so you look more like a son than a daddy, but you're not a son because you're the age of daddy. And I'm just like,
well, what is all this stuff, man?
I'm just Jaden, and I like cock. Like, that really is the basic. Like, I just want a boyfriend. I don't want to sleep around. I just want a monogamous, old-fashioned, romantic relationship with a guy.
Yeah.
That is it. I don't want to go to London Zoo. I don't care if I'm a bear, cub, otter. It's just like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, like it's even difficult to be accepted within our own community. It's like I was still like I never fitted into a genre of gay. I was singing in the States doing this charity thing, and I started off in Augusta in Georgia singing for a YMCA disabled like organization, and it was in the middle of the Bible Belt, and I was shitting myself. I was like, oh my god, like I'm this gay pagan that's going to go and sing for a bunch of Christians to raise money for disabled children. They're going to crucify me. Like, it's going to be the worst experience. And then I was going to Atlanta to sing for an HIV charity. I was doing like to raise money for chemo and an HIV treatment for these guys that their insurance didn't cover both. So I went to the Christian community and I was really scared. And within 40 minutes of the car journey, they're like, oh my god, Jaden, the girls at church are gonna love you. Oh my god, you're such a pretty English boy. I had this one girl and she would be, and I'm just like, no, I'm just here to sing. I'm just here to sing, like nothing. And they kept going on.
Yeah.
I said, look, I'm gay. I know you don't approve and it's cool, but I'm just here to sing and raise money for the kids. They were beautiful to me. Like, they treated me with so much kindness, so much respect. I went to the LGBTQ community in Atlanta and I was singing to raise money for a guy whose insurance didn't cover his HIV treatment and his cancer treatment. So I was raising money for his chemo, right? And I went on this radio and this radio show and they went, okay, Jaden Cornelious, you're like a gay artist from the UK. I'm like, well, I'm an artist from the UK and I happen to be gay. So yeah, maybe. But you're gay. I'm like, yeah, I'm gay. So you obviously support your local gay community. I went, well, I support my local community irrespective of, like I support people and I want to help and I want to share my talent and do things that are supportive of people. Their sexual preference is not really relevant as far as I'm concerned. They're like, oh my God. But you go to gay pride. I'm like, I don't like many people. I don't like being in crowds of people. So I've sung at so many gay prides. I've done main stage London like loads of times, when I was famous and after that. I said, but I probably wouldn't go on a Saturday because it's crazy people for me and it would like really freak me out. And they go, oh my God, you're like a really bad gay. And I went, but when you're going home at 3 a.m. with your next piece of penis, I'm still raising money to buy someone's chemotherapy. So I think I might be a bad gay, but I think I'm an all right human being. That's Jaden Cornelious, the gay artist from the UK. And they put the phone down on me. I was like, right, I got more accepted in a Christian community than I did in the bloody LGBT community in Atlanta. Crazy. Yeah. So now I kind of like, I'm just me and I will be the best. I'm a gay man. It doesn't define who I am. There's so many definitions involved in who I am, my artistry, my upbringing, my choices, my music, my loves, my animals, like everything. Being gay is just a part of that for me, So it was really interesting that there was even so much discrimination within the LGBTQ community as well. So, like being my authentic self and, and just being the best example of a human that I can be now, I think.
Yeah, so, I think that's pretty much like what it is. It's just like the sexuality. It's something that we shouldn't be paying that much of attention to. It's just it doesn't define the kind of person you are. It doesn't define if you're, it's just like one more of your fingers, It's just,
absolutely, yeah.
That's it.
Your kindness and who you are as a human being defines you the most.
That's very separated from
everything. Who you like in the bed. I mean, it's crazy how people, and it's like going back to what you said before about I do accept you. It's just like.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just so you know.
Yeah. And I accept you for your choice that I don't like.
It's just out of nowhere. We're just like talking about, I don't know, the ocean.
You're okay for it. I remember saying to this one guy once, he was said, no, you're okay for a gay man. I'm like, yeah, you're okay for a straight boy. He's like, okay. I found it interesting that most of my straight friends all propositioned me back in the day when they weren't getting any sex from their wife, which they didn't get any sex from me either. But they were like, Jaden, like, I'm like, no, mate, there's nothing. But they were all kind of, I really think, like, you're really nice for a gay. Do you fancy me? I'm like, no, mate, I like boys, but I still got taste.
Yep.
Don't assume that you are on my hit list, because you're not. Okay, he was.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him that, but yeah,
it's
just like, it's crazy. But I think, like, being who you are artistically, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but it also makes you sensitive to who you are on every level of your existence, So it's, some people can go through their lives, they can marry, they can have kids, they can live a stereotypical normal life, and they can do it quite well, but still go and, and find a boy on Grindr, for when their wife's at, night school or something. But I think as a creative, we're a little bit more sensitive to who we are in our complexity, and we're not very good at bullshitting that.
Yeah. No, I think I cannot live by hiding something, or like something that is like it's important. It's not like, it is very important, and at the same time it doesn't have to, like, like, just be the topic of the conversation when you're like introduce yourself, of course. But I do think that is, like, personally something very important, to be very truth to ourselves, to who we are.
Absolutely.
The way we love. So for me, and how that helps me also artistically, is that my writing, my music, or even my haircuts, it's just like a projection of the entire me. It's like I'm being, like, more vulnerable to, like, experience, or to, like, to project myself in that way, because I'm like, I'm showing you who I'm truly are. This is who I am, and there's nothing that I'm hiding from here. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe. This is my way to love. This is my way to, express in the different ways, either like artistically, or just like, this is
all that you
part
are.
of, it's just part of the whole thing, and being just being like honest to yourself every day, and it's just it does affect the way you do also art, because I don't know, it's just it's just like a little thing, but it gives you like a switch of like doing things in one way or another. I don't know how can I explain it better, but that's pretty much what I'm.
It's being your authentic. I mean, for me, being a creative is part of who you are spiritually. Because it's part of your essence. It's part of something that you were created to be, right? So for me, it's like I don't do it because I find it like a spiritual experience, man. But it's part of who I am in my most vulnerable, rawest essence. And one of the themes that has come up over the 4 years of doing this show is authenticity. Just being your authentic self, not draining, but taking that which you need for your creation from your authentic self. And I think, if you're living a lie of any type, that obviously, even as a musician, when I was a pop star in the 90s, and they give you a song that you think is really shit, and you have to learn it on the way to the studio and record it, and then it's coming out as a single in July, and you're just like, then you have to do dance routines, and you have to, and I'm like, I get why I have to do this. I'm contracted to do this. This is, but at the same time, it's not going to be as, I can't, like, there's a different energy to it when you perform something that you're told to perform and you're told to do, in comparison to something that, oh my god, this is so fucking me, man. Like, there's a complete, you can bullshit it because you're an actor. Even all singers go on stage and act, you know, so you can do it, you can please that crowd and you can give what they want, but you feel completely different singing that, performing that, than you do something that really vibes you.
Yes. Yes,
and that's being your authentic self. Yeah, and that's your authenticity. You do what you have to do, but when it comes from that place of, raw man, this is completely an example of who I am in my entirety. That's a complete, and that is the most attractive. When people see that, people are just drawn to that like moths to a flame, mate.
Yeah, because these are your words, these are your thoughts, these are your feelings that you're performing, that you're, you know, putting on the paper or putting it on the stage.
Absolutely.
And it's completely different from, here's the song, just go and sing it, you know. It's a completely different thing.
Completely.
And sometimes you know, when people ask me, or like, you know, when I post like a little just playing the guitar, even if it's not like I don't know, just playing some of my songs, and maybe they're not as produced or as perfect because I'm starting, but they're like, why don't you just do like start us doing like covers of like you know, just upload covers and start in that way. Well, and I'm like, I feel like I love other people's music, but at the same time, it's just not the same for me to, you know, post something that I, you know, that is truly me, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And I still I can do it once in a while and stuff, but I kind of like want to just share something within what I'm like, you know, playing with the guitar, because there's also like I don't know, something in the music and the songs that I am trying to share, a message that it's, you know, in those words. So yeah, it's just different. It's just, and for me personally, I'm like, I don't feel the same way, you know, when I'm doing this or when I'm doing
a cover.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, you know, like, everyone will always have an opinion, from the clothes you wear to the style that you create to the, you know, it's always, everyone's a critic, right? So I think what you're doing is brave, but it's also, like I said, it's authentic. You're being your raw and vulnerable self. You know, the thing that I loved more, you know, the most about the stuff that I was listening to of yours is it was like, I don't know, it was like sitting next to a best mate on a bed after he split up with his partner, listening to him pour his heart out. It was that kind of, that vulnerability, that rawness, you know, and I really liked that. That was a thing that kind of, you know, got me speaking to you, because it was quite vulnerable, and I really, that was more important for me than hearing a really beautifully polished track with violins, cello, trumpet, you know what I mean, like the whole full works, which would have been great and will be great, because you will do that eventually. But at the same time, I love the vulnerability and the authenticity of who you were presenting yourself as an artist. That for me was more important. So, you know, and I didn't realise before we started chatting that you're so multifaceted. You write books, you act, I mean, you just do everything. So that's why I thought he's got to come on this bloody show.
Yeah, I'm just hungry. I'm just hungry. I'll do whatever.
Keep it, because that's your drive, mate. And when you're in your 50s, make sure you still have that hunger. I mean, you will do, because it's your genetic.
It's just part of it. Like, you can't really, you know, one day just like decide not to do anything. Just
well, you can, but it will bite your eye. I mean, like, it would. I was so shy. Like, I couldn't even get on a bus until I was in my late teens, early 20s, because I was too shy to walk on in front of people. you know. And then
Yeah.
5 years later, I'm singing in Greece, in an auditorium of 55,000
Wow.
people. You know, I cried my eyes out. They pushed me on stage because I wasn't going to. They kept fixing my eye makeup because I kept crying it off. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Jaden, I was like, only love will turn the key. So the minute I was on stage, I had to perform because the fear of embarrassing myself was greater than my fear of not doing it, you know. So I did it, but I was crying like a 3-year-old kid before I got on stage. But it would never have been the career path of choice, ever, 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 and still wouldn't. I was talking to a guest a couple of weeks ago, and I can be singing in this restaurant, this hotel. It's a very beautiful environment. I sing in Spanish, I sing in German, I sing in Japanese, I sing in Tagalog, I sing
I see you.
you know, I sing in lots of different languages, and I'm kind of confident in most of it. Now, someone can pull go like this, and it could be about the food, it could be they have pain in their stomach, it could be about the conversation they were having, but I will automatically think it's because of me. Oh, they don't like this song. Oh my God, they think I'm shit. Oh my God, why am I doing this? They will do that straight away. If someone gets up and starts dancing or smiling, I don't think, that's because of me. I'm creating this environment. I always still think after 34 years of being an artist, that the negative stuff is because of me, not the positive stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and at the same time, there's always going to be someone out there that won't like what you do,
Absolutely.
or they're just mad with something else, and they just focus all that energy whoever's in front of them, and it is something that you can't really control, and at the same time, it's something that you shouldn't pay attention to it. But at the same time, we're very emotional.
Well, because we're creating from the heart, right? So absolutely,
yeah. So it's like, you start being insecure, or is it me, or I'm actually doing something wrong. Yeah. But we don't pay attention to the majority that, they're actually enjoying what you're doing, or,
and even if you don't pay attention to it, it's not going to stop you, because you can't help being who you are creatively. You need, because as much as I don't always enjoy it, I always love it, but I don't always enjoy it. But I don't know who I am without it.
Yep.
So I have to, when COVID kicked in, and I was doing 7 shows a week in Quintana Roo. I lived in a place between Cancun and Playa del Carmen. So I was doing 7 shows a week, right? And COVID kicked in, and I was now doing nothing. So what can I do? What can I do? So I had to start the Jaden show, because I had to be creative in some way. And like you said about your books, when I was younger, I won a creative writing contest in my school. I was 13, something like this. And it for some reason, it just came to my mind one day. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if I even remember that story. So I started writing that story down. And, all of a sudden, I sent it to a publisher in the UK. And he's like, no, we'll publish that, man. So, and then I wrote, 2 more stories. I have another 3 stories waiting to be published, and then had them translated into Spanish as well. But I think even if you wanted to stop, you couldn't, because you can't exist without being creative. It's part of it's part of who you are, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm pleased I met you, and not the start of it, but at the early part of your journey, because I'm very excited to see how you progress as an artist and an author and an actor and everything, and everything that you do in between. What is going on for Andre Timothy now in this moment? What's happening for you right now?
Well, I'm very focused in finishing and publish this that we've been mentioning, and I put a pin on music for a second. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do any music or any I'm not gonna do anything with music for now, because it's something that I really love. But at the same time, I promised myself that I was going to be writing this book, and I was going to finish it and publish it, and for the main reason of helping someone out there. if I can change someone else's life out there, that would be just amazing. That would be just like the dream here with this project. And so yeah, I'm like in the middle of like publishing this book, and then once I'm done with publishing and try to put it out there and stuff, I'm gonna go fully with music and starting promoting more myself and starting actually doing what I have to do, or even just jump in the bus and play my guitar, or play one of my songs, or like saving some money, going to a studio and produce a song or maybe an album in the future. So yeah, but this is kind of like where I'm like in the in between where I'm just
That's where you're at now.
I'm like about a month to publish this, or like close to a month, around a month, and then I'm gonna fully commit myself to try to put myself out there in the social media or like in the community. Um, but yeah, I'm also like preparing myself because I'm also like reading stuff about music, about contracts, about business, because I don't want to be, just like just jump out there without knowing anything, not knowing anything about contracts, not knowing anything about like how. Because the thing is that there's a lot of people out there that if they can see they can take advantage of you, they will.
Of course, of course.
And yeah, and I don't want to put myself in a situation. I don't want to sign myself to the devil out there. So that's why I'm
expensive.
Like, yeah.
And it's expensive to have contracts checked and all this kind of thing, all the small print read and having to fight contracts, because eventually they will do what they want to do anyway.
Yeah.
You're better off knowing your shit and then actually doing as much of it as you can yourself.
Yeah, of course. And it may be in the future you can find a better contract once you already make the whole work of the whole thing that building up yourself, your career. But let's say if someone just want to jump out there and they have like a couple of songs or whatever, and they don't know much about anything.
Yeah,
they might get like a contract from a studio, but the thing is like they give you some money. They convince you with like giving you some like a piece of the cake. Yeah. Then they take over your rights and your your writing, your songs and everything. And then if they don't make it happen to you, all those streams that they promised you, then suddenly they're just gonna be taking your stuff, and then they're gonna be like, well, you have to pay us back all of this amount of money that we spent on you.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible because they just made it so difficult.
Absolutely. Or another thing that used to be very common back in the 90s, I've had three record deals, and I've been very lucky back in the day. I wouldn't probably go for a record deal now. I'd probably have a single deal now if I'd done something. Well, I had a single deal for my last release a year and a half ago. But I would... they used to do a thing called shelving. So if they thought you were good, you look great, you sound great, but your potential competition for their artist, they will sign you and shelve you so you cannot be competition. You can do nothing else creatively. And they, but you cannot be competition for their artist that they are spending money. So that was very common. I don't know if, I've been out of I'm still releasing music, I'm still releasing singles, but I've not done it to that extent since, the late 90s. So that used to be very common. Shelving was a really big thing. They don't want you in their way, so they sign you and then forget about you, and you can do nothing for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is knowing your art on all of its levels. I think, it's bloody best idea, mate, especially while you have the time of being able to do that. While you're waiting for your next haircut to come in, start reading, and absolutely, it's perfect, man.
Yeah. I'm sitting down with my book reading, and just like, next line comes in, I'll put my book to the side, and hey, man, what's up?
Be creative.
Same as always.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, mate. What are your... We quickly picked up in that last bit of conversation, we quickly picked up about your social media presence, where people obviously love you. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram as Tim underscore Dre with a Y at the end and then one. That's my Instagram, and then I just made up my TikTok, which is Andre one Timothy, and then
I'm
my
your
Facebook.
7th follower, mate.
Yeah.
So
you're my first follower.
no, I'm number 7. There were 6 before me. I was like, oh shit, I could have got in there a bit quicker.
Yeah.
No, I'm number 7. But number 7's a lucky number, so that's cool.
It is. And then my Facebook, which is Andre Timothy, and that's all I have for now. But hopefully in the future I'll start with like Twitter or YouTube or well I will have to. So,
well, yeah, absolutely. And you'll share that on your
Yeah.
Insta and your Facebook and your TikTok anyway, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, and we'll chat again. Before we go, I want to ask you, what are your, I mean, you've kind of covered it in some of the questions, but what are your dreams for the future?
Well, my main dreams for the future, obviously, it is to make a living from my art, writing like as an author or as a songwriter. But I think most importantly is that I'm also an activist, and I stand for animal rights, and I stand for the LGBT community, and of course I stand for any type of injustice out there, and with just like con el racismo, o con just like for discrimination or even hunger, So I stand for many things, but my main targets, or like my main the things that I have like very present is animal rights and LGBTQ plus community. So if I can help both, in the future, if I'm making a good living, that I think that will be my goal and my dream. If I'm able to, just have a good living and at the same time, help out there.
Be that good person, mate. Well, I hope that's from your lips to the gods or goddesses' ears. I hope that becomes a reality for you, and it's something. And I hear you. So I've got a small animal sanctuary full of street animals. So I feel your passion with helping. I have a charity. I have a non-profit organisation for the last 15 years, which was 100% giving. And it was about helping people that could not fight for themselves. So I feel your passion on that as well, man. So big respect to you for doing what you do. I want to say thank you so much for being part of my show. I really appreciate it. We watched Power of Fear before we started this interview, and we're going to watch Es así y como si fuera ayer in a minute when we stop talking. Can you just give us a little bit of the background of these songs?
Yeah. Which one should I tell you?
Well, you could. I mean, all of them if you want. I mean, you wrote them, so if you want. I mean, we saw before the interview Power of Fear. So give me a little bit of background for that.
So about that song, I was seeing a lot of videos of what was going on here in the United States, where ICE was kidnapping people and all of that stuff, and how the politicians who are very like powerful doing things just because they want it, and without thinking about what about the people out there, what about their feelings, what about their families. They're just take decisions. So when I start seeing all this stuff, and then also like these people just like even killing other Americans, which it happened in this, I forgot the state, I think it was Minneapolis or something, where they were actually killing just Americans for, getting on the way of defending the immigrants. So I pretty much wrote that song because of what was happening and how I felt about it. And then for the other ones, they're pretty much love songs. I recently got in love. So I was just expressing, the I don't know, just
Manifestation
the,
of
what do you
that.
call it? Yeah, the manifestation of that, and just it was pretty much just that. So
Perfect, man. Wonderful.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Tell me.
Oh, sorry, I missed one of them. I think I sent you one with like what? Can you repeat the
Power
two?
Fear, Es así como si fuera ayer.
Como si fuera ayer. So that song, I was expressing something that it was like a trauma for me. I got like when I was like in a very young age. I don't know, like 5 or 4. I was just like going through like uh what do you call it? Just like I forgot what the name in English is, but like I was being abused when I was a child, so I wrote that song expressing how the trauma doesn't just fade away. It's something that you carry with you. It's a memory that it just sticks in our minds. So that was pretty much the message in that song.
Amazing. Well, keep being authentic, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Big power to you as well. So it's been a pleasure to speak to you today. It's been a really great chat. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and meeting you. People at home, you obviously love him. Please go and follow him on his TikTok. So there's way more than 7 people following. Go and check him out on Facebook and Instagram as well. And look forward, because he'll be announcing his YouTube in the not too distant future. Mate, I hope you'll come back and do my book read show when your book is out.
Of course.
Be wonderful, and we will stay in touch. Maybe we'll do a collaboration in the future musically. That would be cool.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Tú puedes cantar en inglés y yo en español.
Ándale.
Okay, mate.
Right,
thank you so much. Andre Timothy, you're an amazing man. Thank you so much for being part of my show. We are in contact.
Yeah, of course.
I'll see you later, mate. Bye-bye.
Right. I'll see you later.
What a bloody lovely man. I hope you've enjoyed meeting him as much as I have enjoyed introducing him to you and getting to know him myself. Go and support that boy on all of his social media presences, his Insta, his Facebook, and his TikTok. And I'm sure that you'll find out as soon as his YouTube channel has been released as well. So make sure eventually you go and show him some love and support there. While you're at it, just click subscribe on this channel, because I love introducing you to lovely, lovely people. Thank you, Andre Timothy. You are super duper. I really, really appreciated your time and you being on my show today. I think I'm having a little bit of a crush. He's very, very handsome and very talented. People at home, I'm going to leave you with more music from Andre Timothy. As we've just discussed, I'm going to leave you with Es así y como si fuera ayer. You're going to listen to that on the way out. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, tell all your friends, share everybody, even your enemies, because I'm pretty sure once you've shared Andre Timothy, they will no longer be your enemies. They will thank you for it. You take care. Have a blessed new week. I'm already excited to be back with you next Sunday on the Jaden Show to introduce you to another wonderful person. I will see you then. Take care. Stay beautiful. Bye-bye.
Si fuera blanco y negro el color, quisiera perderme en tu olor. Es así, así es. es así, perdido, así estoy sin ti, hundido, sin tu calor. Daría el más caro reloj, daría como si fuera ayer. Va detrás de mí, va detrás de mí. Peligro de decir, oculto debe estar. Detrás de mi antifaz está mi cicatriz, como si fuera